offer to retiring members by allowing them to preside over one of our bills. So for at least one time. So I'd ask that you all join me in welcoming to the dais Representative Sean Williams.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the implementer?
I would, Mr. Speaker, but I don't have it yet.
I'm in charge, right? Will the clerk please call calendar number 522? Remark further on the amendment.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to call the question of whether Representative Cafaro or I was going to go first. That was my question. I think it's quite fitting that I let Larry go at the end, so there really is no question. And of course, I'm rising to speak on Senate Amendment A. Sean, two people influenced me very much when I first came here and offered me advice, and it really was the opposite side of the spectrum. It was Senator Billy Seato, and it was you. And we had mutual friends, even though from different sides of the aisle, so I immediately was intrigued and wanted to figure out what gives. How was, this guy from Watertown, friends with all my buds in Waterbury, the labor movement and other folks. And I just had to figure it out, so I spent some time talking to you. And there was many times that I would come over to that side of the aisle and sit in the chair next to you, and we'd sit and chit-chat. And I remember one day your exact words to me. Joe, just remember, this building's temporary. Don't let it change who you are. You know who your friends are, and you know how to act. You're going to be moving up the ladder maybe someday. Just stay true. Work with us over here, and we'll have great relationships, Sean. That was your exact words. I remember it to this day. Now that I'm in this particular position, I hope I've listened well. I hope you look over here with a little sense of pride, because if you didn't know it, you're the one that helped me act the way I do over here. And I'll be forever grateful for that. But I'm also kind of grateful that you're leaving, Sean, because Sean, really, because a couple of debates, I knew Larry was talking about going, and I said, oh, all right, at least 2 years over here, I'll have a little easier time. I don't have to follow him all the time. And then last year, you're standing up and you're doing the forget about it and the hand like this, and I'm like, oh, here we go, stage 2. So seeing you go, although sad, and I'll miss you, my friend, and I'm going to see you around, and I hope still you'll offer me advice. Your mentor, Representative Cafaro, taught you well, and I'm just glad I'm not facing round 2 of Larry. But I'll miss you, and I hope to spend more time with you away from here.
Thank you, sir. And I do remember those conversations that we had, and part of your success, a large part of your success, is that you're a real guy and you've never changed. You're a real person. You've always been real. You've always been authentic with people. I believe there's no substitute for authentic communication, and you're somebody who looks the person you're talking to in the eye, who listens to what they say, who processes what they're talking about, and who cares about what they think. And so it's a great pleasure for me to be your friend. Forget about being a colleague. To be your friend is a great honor for me. So thank you, sir. Will you remark further? Will you remark further? If not, one of our deputy speakers who's sitting here said he's always wanted to do that. Representative Cafaro, you have the floor, sir.
Mr. Speaker, I don't think I care for your tone.
That's not the first time you've said that to me.
It sure isn't. I've talked to a lot of teachers of grade school kids, and they always tell the story about how unfair it is for some kids who are in a certain classroom who might be taller than the rest of the kids. And they say, as a teacher, as much as they try to steel against it, because a child might be physically bigger than the other kids in the class, they have higher expectations of that child. And it's not fair, because they still are, whether it's 9 years old in a class of 9-year-olds or whatever, they're a 9-year-old kid. And yet, because of their physical presence and their height, sometimes even the best of teachers can't help but have a higher expectation of them. Mr. Speaker, you came into this chamber as a 21-year-old young man. You had a deep baritone voice. You were very confident in your walk. Some said you had a swagger. And because of your maturity, your presence, and your wisdom, which was well beyond your years, people had certain impressions of you. And I would always say to people, as good as he is, and he's good, he's still a 21-year-old kid. He had more in common with some of the younger members of the staff and the interns than he did with old fuddy-duddies like myself and others. And yet, you have performed magnificently. Yes, I agree. Sean was my fourth child. I believe it was opening day. Both his parents were here, and I grabbed them and I hugged them both, and I said, we raised them well, didn't we? I think of all those learning experiences, those father-son chats, the good times, the laughs. But most importantly, and as corny as it sounds, I remember watching you grow and how you excelled in committee, excelled on the floor of the House, excelled in caucus, excelled with your relationships on both sides of the aisle, how you got things done, how you, as has been said so many times, were a mentor to people twice your age. And as this pseudo-father, whatever, my buttons burst, my heart swelled with pride. Obviously, you and I talked long and hard about the opportunity you were presented, and I was so thrilled and proud for you, and I know how well you're doing and how well you're going to do, and it's just the beginning, Sean. There is nothing you cannot do. You are going to have a long, long, wonderful career. You are going to do so many remarkable things. And I get to say, when all the hair is gone, half of which you caused to leave my head, when I'm on Golden Pond in some rocker, I'm going to say, I knew him when. I love you, buddy. I'm so damn proud of you. Good luck to you.
That was great.
Thank you, sir. What else can I say than what's been said before about you? You are undoubtedly the best teacher, mentor, and friend, and I think, you know, combining all three of those together is something that is extremely rare in this world, to have somebody who's all three of those things. We've had a lot of laughs together, a lot of laughs. We've had a lot of talks, and they've been incredibly productive to me in making me a better person and a better legislator, most importantly a better person. Everything that was said about me here today was so appreciated. I appreciate everything everybody said, but it's so much a result and a product of what you did with me, and so for that I will be forever grateful to you.